Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Steve Sipress here. I'll step out into the sun a little bit. It is still the morning here, technically not even noon, and probably is only around, it's only around 100 degrees or so. Still going up by about another 10 probably later today. So, I planned to get out here a little earlier and do today's video, but then I realized I had a whole bunch of calls scheduled. Client calls, strategy sessions, all kinds of stuff. So here we are. George is here. Good seeing you. And so, I don't know if you caught this. Being Topical News Tuesday, I pulled something out of the news. I saw on the news that the New York Times, a newspaper, and Jeremy Danley is here. Great seeing you. The New York Times apparently hired a racist to be one of their editors of their newspaper. I mean, like, who knew? What kind of times are we living in? Like a blatant racist who had all kinds of tweets about, like, F the white people, and I hate all white people, and they're all losers, and what, and like, oh my goodness, like, I didn't, my first thought was like, for years, social media's only been around, about 8 or 10 years, and we've always heard it said that, like, caution, hey, you kids, be careful what you put on social media, because it's on there forever. And the same thing to business owners. Be careful what you put on social media, because it's there forever. This video is there forever. It's going up onto, as soon as I finish this, I'll press a button and put it up onto YouTube, and it'll go onto Twitter and LinkedIn and Facebook, and I don't even remember, my blog, my podcast will be all over the place. Like, and it's on there forever, so be careful what you say. Well, this person posted all kinds of blatantly, just purely racist hatred, and no problem, you're hired. At the New York Times, at one of what used to be, when I was growing up, I grew up in New York, sure, but it was still known as, like, the #1 newspaper. The, like, their slogan probably still is, all the news that's fit to print. Like, we are just straight. We give the news. These are the facts. This is how it is. But, of course not, right? Everyone's got their bias. And that's the message today for business owners. Because hopefully if you're watching this, you're a business owner. And everyone has a bias. And businesses, a lot of times, can do very well, like the New York Times, being racist. New York Times being anti-white and, I guess, pro anything that's not white or whatever they want to be, like, and the same thing in many, many other businesses. There are lots of businesses that cater to certain races, certain ethnicities, certain religions. So it's all about, as always, the foundation of the WOW strategy, the first W in the word WOW stands for the who. It's always all about the who. It's about your target audience. If your target audience is racist, then you want to post racist stuff. And racist meaning you're prejudging somebody based on their race. So whether it's positive or negative, or whether it's for, black, white, tall, short. Well, tall, short is not a race, but I don't know, whatever the races are. And then there's all this confusion nowadays between race and nationality. As if, like, an anti-Mexican tweet is now racist. Like, Mexican, not a race that I know of. Like, American, not a race. Like, every race on earth is an American, and so forth. But anyway, so you could be pro-American, anti-American, pro-Catholic, anti-Catholic, pro-black, anti-black, pro, the New York Mets, anti the New York Mets. It all depends on your business and your audience. One caution, though, you just got to be willing to take, if you're putting it out there on the internet or speaking in person at an event or putting anything on social media, you just got to be willing to take the blowback. So here the New York Times, which clearly rewards and likes anti-white racism, they have to take the blowback from their their non-target market, their non-subscribers who are not anti-white, so they get all this backlash from white people, I guess. The NFL allowing all their players on the NFL side, still, I have to laugh every time I think about it, but they actually allow their employees on the business time to protest. Well, then, of course, they're going to lose all kinds of customers that are pro-American and like the national anthem and the flag and patriotism. and they're against people that will choose to protest during that specific time, no matter what it's about. Oh, it's not about the flag. Well, no matter what it's about, if it's really not about the flag, how about you choose any other 2 minutes of your week, and leave, you have 167 hours, 20 and 58 minutes to protest if it wasn't about that. So of course it's about that. So you got to know who's your target who, right? So it's okay to be racist. And clearly it's okay that whatever you post on social media, even though it lasts forever, it can be fine depending on who you're looking to work for. And for business owners, who we're looking to work for is our members, our clients, our patients, our customers. That's who we work for. We get up every day and we provide value to people. That's who we work for. So if they are pro or against any certain kind of group of anything or any kind of idea, it would help you to be for or against that same group, idea, concept, whatever. And we learned that lesson from the New York Times, making it clear. I mean, I guess now finally all bets are off and it's pretty clear they're not objective. They're not simply printing the news. They clearly have an agenda and a viewpoint of the world and of people, and fine. Like, I'm coming out, I'm getting shadows on me, so I'm coming out of the sun a little bit, but that'll wrap it up. The New York Times makes it very clear. Our audience disparages white people. So we're okay. We'll get the backlash from people that are not racist, that say white, black, tall, short, whatever, it's all good to me. We'll get the backlash from them. We'll certainly get the backlash from the white people. Oh, and I think she was also, I hate cops, F the cops, this, that. So we'll get the backlash from them. But again, New York Times, extremely progressive, liberal, socialist, Marxist, communist, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same. They hate America, they hate cops, they hate whatever the established, in power seems to be. They perceive that somehow America is some white nationalist type of thing, whatever. So that works for their audience. They don't care about the backlash that they hired a racist person. They don't, not only do they not care, they did it purposely. You don't think they saw her tweets? They interviewed her. You don't think they knew who she was? They were like, this is great. Fits right in with the perspective of our target, ideal target subscriber. Especially in the newspaper business, if you haven't been paying attention for the past, I don't know, 10, 20 years or so, newspaper circulation way, way down. So it makes sense that they really ought to do anything they can to get their circulation up. So controversy helps, and picking a real target market and speaking directly to them and cutting out this phony baloney, oh, we're objective and we're all things to all people, that's nonsense. Okay, you'll hear me say it a lot. If your target is everyone, then your client will be no one. The New York Times knows that. Their target is not someone who loves cops, someone who likes white people. That's not their target. Their target is the progressive, socialist, radical, communist, liberal, progressive, whatever you want to call it, and downright racist. They're fine with that. You should be too. Depends on your target market. If you don't like your target market, the good news is, as the business owner, you get to choose. Pick a different one. If your target market, if you're reaching out to people that are racist in a certain way and you don't like that, then pick another target market. It's always our choice as the business owner. As is with everything when you run your business properly. Everything is our choice, freedom. That's why we do it. Jeremy Danley asks, do you think sometimes even the opposite target audience will subscribe just to see what they say? Of course. Like Howard Stern haters listen twice as long as a fan. Yeah, you heard that. I don't know if I've seen the proof of that. I doubt they've listened twice as long, but of course. I mean, look at what's happened, like what I just said, the backlash. The backlash means people are paying attention. And that's, I guess I didn't say it clearly, but that's what I meant. The New York Times, by hiring the racist, anti-cop, anti-white, progressive, communist, socialist, Marxist, liberal, progressive, whatever you call it, person, is getting a lot of attention for that. And so sure, a lot of the non-racist people who are not anti-cop, anti-American, anti-white, all that kind of stuff, are subscribing, no doubt, tuning into, there's the conservative network cable news channels. There's the liberal New York news channels. They watch each other. They report on each other. People, I think they're all entertaining, so I flip around to all of them. But certainly, by being controversial, we've got a guy in the White House who did that. You got Howard Stern, you got Donald Trump, and you got plenty of others that have made a lifetime living off of saying ridiculously outrageous, controversial things. So it's out the window, folks. If you have kids, teenagers or whatever, and you're cautioning them, hey, be careful what you put on social media, it can go back to haunt you. Yeah, but I guess not. I guess you can put the most vile, racist stuff on the internet and you're fine, as long as you apply for a job with a vile, racist employer. So this person got hired by the New York Times. They were like, perfect. Well, you have not only a racist, but somebody who's willing to go right out there and put it right on the line. I'm a racist. That's who we want. That's who Trump is on the other side. That's who this person is on that side. So, all good. Okay, and again, if you don't want to play the game, you're going to be a generalist, trying to be all things to all people, and be careful, because you're not going to do nearly as well as these honest people, companies, businesses, outlets that know their target, exact target who, and they cater right to them and make no bones about it. Be bold and always cater to your target who. That's the lesson today, learned by the racist hired by the New York Times on Topical Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Thanks to Jeremy for the interaction. Everybody else here watching live on the replay. That's it for Topical Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow on Wisdom Wednesday, where I will give you a piece of my mind, so to speak. Hope you'll be with me then. Have a great day. Bye-bye.